lagi मेरी 5 मिनट रही.
Yeah, good evening to one and all. Hello. Could you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Shall we proceed?
Yes, please start.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Once again, thanks to Nimi and the supporting faculties. Our today's session is on sensors and transducers and their applications. In particular, if time permits, we will see how to use some of the sensors in our real-time applications for automation purposes. How we can fulfill our requirements in our day-to-day life. That's what our agenda. And before that, I would like to introduce myself. I am Janardhanam, working as a training officer in NSTI Chennai. And I would like to convey some information. The sensors are not artificial, the sensors are natural. Every humans are having sensors. For an example, eye, our human eye or animal's eye is a vision sensor, equivalent to a camera. And our hair is our hair is a speaker, audio system, audio sensor. Our mouth and tongue is a taste sensor. Nose is one of the best example for chemical sensor. It can detect any vaporized gases by smelling it. And our hand is an example for touch sensor. Could you hear me? Yes. And you can ask question that, sir, why we need to study sensor? हमारा उद्देश्य सेंसर का उद्देश्य क्या है? Nowadays, The sensors are everywhere. In real time, everywhere we are using sensors. Without sensor, aircraft can't fly. And a ship, we can't move ship. And train, roadways. In a recent course, nowadays, sixth generation cars are available. Every car is having more than 500 sensors, which are connected with a common computer and controlled by a computer. In order to assess climatic changes, the sensors are deployed over the oceans in order to predict cyclones, seismic changes. The sensors are fixed, deployed over the oceans. The forest, in order to count the number of trees, number of animals, types of animals, the movement of animals can be assessed using sensors. Nowadays, our government of India, DGT, has observed that these sensors can be deployed in three main areas: IoT, smart agriculture, IoT, smart city, IoT, smart healthcare. See, these are the example or only few collections of sensors I have shown here. Finally, I will share some link. Through that link, you can find more than 500 plus sensors available in the market for different applications. It will be very useful, and it will be very useful to you. Tomorrow I am going to take another class on Arduino programming. If you integrate these sensors with your Arduino programmings, you can develop your own projects from your home itself. You may think that you are not having Arduino board and accessories. Don't worry. Laptop is enough. Just I am going to train you how to program Arduino board. Yes, if you get successful program, next one step is there to dump into your Arduino board and you can develop a project. Okay. So on this context, tomorrow I'm going to deliver a class on Arduino programming. And before that, why we need to focus on the sensors and transducers? Yes, statistics says that near future, in another few years, maybe 2024, every human may be connected with more than 7 sensors. A beautiful statistics says that already my video is, our lecture video is available on YouTube, IoT applications through NIMI channel. You can view it. I have explained what are all the applications of sensors and IoT, in which the videos says that in near future, by the year 2024, every human will be connected with more than 7 sensors. Imagine how the technology will be developed in another few years, in another 5 years. Which means so many sensor experts required for the country as well as the world. If you become sensor expert, you will have an opportunity for another 30 years or lifelong. The sensors are everywhere. Mechanical domain and civil domain, home automation, automatic vehicle parking, traffic management, collision avoidance, GPS global positioning system by which you can detect presence of an object across the world. Right? So this is why we need to focus on sensors. Dear trainees, I hope you understand the value of sensors and the roles played by the sensor in the near future. So with this brief introduction, let me move to definitions. What are called sensor, what are called transducer, what are called actuators. When you are going to use sensor in your application, you must know the difference between sensor, transducer, and actuator. Let me start with the transducer. A transducer is either electronic device or electrical device or electromechanical device which converts one form of energy into another form of energy. For an example, lamp, you can call it as a transducer. Your lamp in your home, the lamp is glowing, no? That lamp, you can call it as a transducer. Why? Because the lamp converts electrical energy into a light energy. And your fan, ceiling fan or table fan can be called as a transducer, which converts electrical energy into a mechanical energy or wind energy, internal wind energy. So that what is need to be called as a transducer, any device, physical device, which converts one form of energy into another form of energy, or primary form of energy into other form of energy. The primary forms are mechanical, thermal, electromagnetic, optical, chemical, etc. Right? And I hope you understand on transducer. Transducer is a device, physical device, which converts one form of energy into another form. Example, simple light, lamp. And what is sensor, sir? Sensor is a device, physical device, which senses the presence of physical quantities, which senses presence of physical quantities. This is the difference between sensor and transducer. Transducer is the one which converts one form to another form. Sensor is the one which senses the presence of physical quantities like a pressure, temperature, light, gas, chemical, mechanical movement, whatever it may be, which senses the physical quantities. Those devices are called as sensors. So let's see this slide. Your real world is there, and you have to fix some sensors, and sensor senses the happenings, what are the things happening in the world, and transform the information into an intelligent microcontroller or a mechatronics device by which you can control real-time applications. The simple sensor systems in this slide, I am going to explain how does a simple sensor system works. So real world is there. From the real world, sensors sensing the physical quantities like a temperature, presence of moisture, humidity, or a wind flow, pressure, whatever it may be. And those sensor signal converted into electrical signal by transducer, and those signal converted into analog into digital, and the digital signal given to microcontroller to take a decision. After microcontroller, you have to connect actuator. Actuator is nothing but a relays, electromechanical relays or solid state relays. While using sensors and transducers, the following parameters need to be considered. Range of the sensor, how much distance it can emit signal, or how much distance it can predict object. And what is its errors and accuracy that you have to study before its use. And what is its nonlinear behavior? Nonlinear behavior is nothing but the linear, every device, all electrical and electronic device need to be a linear device. Then what is the linear device is that whenever the output is follows an input, or output is as similar to the input, those devices are called as linear devices. Some devices, due to the atmospheric condition, it may go to nonlinear mode of operation where the output may not be as similar to the input. For an example, if I say hello, your speaker should deliver hello itself. It should not deliver some other words. If it delivers some other words or my words are not clear, which means that your system is nonlinear mode of operation. So we must be careful on choosing the device and deciding these parameters. Hysteresis. Hysteresis nothing but is a kind of loss. A device may be forced to loop back from 1 to 0, 0 to 1, which is called as hysteresis. It is too technical at this juncture. We may not require this hysteresis and all. And deadband and saturation. Deadband is nothing but, for an example, camera. If you focus a camera right straight front of the object, some area may be skipped. That distance is called as deadband. You cannot visualize through a camera. Then, as you know that if you are working with the electronic and electrical device, input and output impedances are more important. Output impedance must be equal to 0, and input impedance must be as equivalent to infinite. And repeatability. A device should work repeatedly with the same output. That is what is called as repeatability. For an example, if your sensor, yeah, sure. If a sensor produces 5 volt at this time, by 4:30, the same sensor should produce same 5 voltage 5:30 also, 6:30 also. Whenever you connect with the system, it should produce the same output voltage. That is what is called as repeatability. How many times you are using that sensor that produce the same amount of output. And reliability, it should work with the accurate answer for long time. That is what is called as reliability. We should be reliable on the output of the sensor. And sensitivity, how a sensor responds to your input, that is what is called as sensitivity. Resolution means amount of volume of information available in the sensed signal. And frequency response, how does it behaves with respect to the frequency? You know, the electrical devices tend to behave according to the frequency. Some devices will not work beyond certain frequency. We should know that what frequency band that particular device is working on. And what is its response time? If you give input, how long a device takes to respond? That is what is called as a response time. And calibration, a sensor should have a facility to calibrate or to adjust against error values. So with this informations, let me go to the sensors in detail, how to use, for an example, how to use PIR sensor in a real-time applications. Yes. So listen, so this is the PIR sensor. In particular, this PIR sensor is used to predict motion of the object. For an example, you can use it to detect motion of human beings, motion of animals. Even our military using these sensors to predict movement of animals in a jungle, forest. So very well, you can use in your home. For an example, in a bedroom, if you are available, the light and fan will be automatically turned on. If no persons available in your home, it will automatically switch off your light loads, fan, light, television, whatever it is. So in that case, you can very well use this particular sensor in your home itself. Please, let's try. In the future classes, I'm going to explain how you can use these sensors for your home automation. And the cost of the sensor will be around 120 rupees. It depends on manufacturer. It is ranging from 70 to 120 rupees only. Only 120 rupees. And a small plastic cover is there. See, the right side one plastic cover is there. It is like a prism. In order to widen the angle, we are using this prism, plastic prism. Otherwise, inside the pattern, inside the sensor, your sensor will be looking like a transistor. Let's see. A small transistor. How does it works? How does it works based on the infrared rays? If there is a changes in the infrared rays in the atmosphere or in your room, in your house, it will be detected and converted it as an electrical signal. The change in infrared ray converted into a change in electrical signal. I hope you understand. How does this device works? So let me explain what are the components available in it. Then I will explain how does it works. Yes. There is a jumper and it requires the 3-volt regulator, and there is a protection diode, germanium diode, and ground, digital output, and 3 to 5 volt input. Yeah. The most important things in the PIR sensor are, you need to consider only 3 inputs, 3 terminals. This device is consisting of 3 terminals. One is ground. You can visualize it. You can very well see it. There are 3 terminals. The one is ground. The middle one is a digital output. Digital output means either you will get either 0 or 5 volt. If device detects any movements, the output will be 5 volts. If there is no change, then the output will be 0 volt. You need to give only 2 inputs. One is ground, another one is plus 5 volt. And if the device detects object, it will produce 5 volt. If there is no object, it will produce 0 volt. That logic you have to use. That 5 volt can be used to trigger relay, and relay can be connected with your light loads or motor, fan, whatever it is required, you can use. Yes. See this diagram? Able to see? A PIR sensor, there is a Fresnel lens. and which trying to observe, always observe infrared rays. And this red color one, the infrared radiated by your sensor. The green color one detected by sensor. If any object crossing this radiation, there will be fluctuation in the infrared signal. There will be fluctuation in the infrared signal. That infrared signal converted into electrical signal, in turn electrical signal will have changes. You see this output signal, there is a graph. Based on the changes in the infrared signal, there is a changes in the electrical signal also. Right? You can ask question. Some students are asking questions, sir, what is infrared rays? Infrared ray is nothing but a heat rays. Every animal and a human able to generate infrared ray. So even you can Google, you go to Google search, just to type thermal image of a human, thermal image of a human. You can see IR spectrum of human beings, animals. Based on that, this PIR sensor is working. There are a lot to talk. This is technical details of this PIR sensor. And the internal structures, we don't have a time to discuss all those things. Yes. So this is all connections. There are 3 terminals. Black one should be used as a ground. Red one should be used as a plus VCC. And the yellow one is the output. Right? Able to see? Now, there are 3 wires. Black wire should be connected to ground. Red wire should be connected to plus VCC. And yellow wire should be connected to the ground. So tomorrow's class, so I'll brief how to use this ground wire, red wire, and yellow wire. Please try to remember and be participate in the tomorrow's class also. Will be very useful. You can develop your own project in your home itself. So unfortunately, we are in the lockdown condition. So we don't have a laptop or computer resources. We are delivering lectures over the phone. That is why we are finding a lot of difficulties in showing images and all. See, there are 2 yellow color adjustments. So one is the one, this is what is called as potentiometer. These potentiometers used to calibrate the sensor. I told calibration in the previous slide. In the PowerPoint slide, I shown calibration. Here you can able to calibrate. What is the range? Range of detection of objects. How much, from how much distance you need to detect the object. That you can adjust from this left side knob. And another one, you can adjust angle. So maximum it will detect object within a 30 degree. Within a 30 degrees, it will detect objects. So by adjusting Yes. By adjusting these two knobs, these two potentiometers, you can adjust range of the object, and also you can adjust angle, the focusing angle. The maximum is 30 degrees that you can adjust. See, a simple project with a PIR sensor, you can try in your home. You connect two batteries in series. Positive need to be connected with plus terminal, and a negative need to be connected with negative terminal. And in the output terminal, you connect one 220 ohm resistor and LED. Another end of LED should be connected to the ground. Come on, let's draw this diagram. A simple diagram you can try in your home. I hope you have drawn this diagram. After making these connections, you can place in your home, bedroom or a hall, wherever you require this sensor. If it detects any human movement, LED will glow. If there is no movement, LED will be off. A simple project. It requires only 100 rupees. Instead of LED, if you control any relay and a lamp, it's good. I'll share this the complete PDF file for your. It consists of Arduino project also. You can develop your Arduino project also with this PIR sensor, and program also is there. How to make connections is there. You can develop your own project. You can automate your home. You need not require to sell, or you need not require to design a project for somebody else. You can design your own project for your home itself, by which you can save your electrical bill. If nobody is there in your home, the system itself will turn off your lights and fans. If anybody comes in, it will turn on the light automatically. Simple automation. The connection is, this is the connection, nothing else. Yes, this is the connection, nothing else. With this, you can automate your home. Is it audible now? Yes, some of them are texting, not audible. Is it audible now? Next. In the next slide, we will discuss on ultrasonic sensor. Ultrasonic sensor also very much required for our real-time use. You can use them for home automation. Even you can use it for your home, not for others. In that way, you please try to understand what is ultrasonic sensor. Let me share ultrasonic sensor. Yes, let's wait some time. Just I'm selecting my document. Yes. Let's see the technical data of ultrasonic sensor. The technical name of this ultrasonic sensor is HCSR04. You can go to the market or electronic shop. You can buy this ultrasonic sensor by naming it as HCSR04. The beauty of this sensor is the ultrasonic sensor also used to detect obstacles in front of uh, our system. Especially this ultrasonic sensor used for blind people to detect obstacles in front of them, any stones or chairs or wall in front of them. It will be detected and communicated to the blind people. It is a non-contact sensor. You need not touch that sensor. Within a 400 centimeters, any obstacles is there, it will detect and communicate to the system. Its accuracy is very high. The proved sensor, we are using it for many applications. The ultrasonic sensor working with the principle of bats. You know bat? I hope all of you understand bat. In Tamil, it is called as vowal, right? No? Bat. The principle began with the bats, or it will radiate ultrasound. While flying, it will radiate ultrasound. That ultrasound hits on any target, obstacles, and reflected back to the bats, and those bats will detect reflected signal and estimate the time duration as well as distance. Based on that, it will detect the obstacles and it takes diversion. I hope you understand how the bats flying. You know, bats are blinds. Bats can't see. Then how it flies at higher speed? It radiates ultrasound signal. Ultrasound signal, whenever ultrasound signal hits on the wall or obstacles, and the signal is reflected back towards the bat will estimate the time duration as well as the distance between obstacle and the source. Accordingly, it takes diversion. Right? And what you should remember, this formula. This formula is very, very essential. How to measure distance between object and the sensor. The tested distance is equal to the time taken by the signal to reach the target and returning back. And velocity of the sound is 340 meters per second. Everyone knows that. This formula is very, very essential. I hope you understand. The distance between sensor and the object or wall is equal to the time taken by the signal to reach the target and returning back, that time duration into the velocity of the sound, because we are radiating ultrasound sound signal. The speed of the sound signal in the air medium is 340 meters per second. Right? Why divided by 2? Because the ultrasound signal traveling towards the target for T time and returning back T time duration. So total 2T. We have to use only one time duration. That is why we are dividing by 2. 2T by 2. I hope you understand. The technical spec of this sensor is 5-volt supply, trigger pulse input, echo pulse output, 0 voltage ground, which means that this particular sensor is having 4 terminals. It is having 4 terminals. The one terminal for 5-volt, another terminal for 0-volt. Every sensor requires this power supply, 5-volt and ground. The remaining 2 terminals are there. One for trigger pulse, another one for echo pulse output. What is this trigger pulse input, sir? You have to give trigger pulse input to the sensor, then it will radiate ultrasound signal. And also it will detect echo pulse. Once echo pulse is positive, higher, then the output will be higher, 5-volt. Otherwise, output, echo pulse output will be 0. Come on. If you give trigger pulse, ultrasound sensor will radiate ultrasound signal, will be radiated towards the target. If it hits the target and reflected back, the echo pulse output will be positive and high voltage, 5 volts. If there is the absence of echo pulse, which means there is no object in front within 400 centimeters, then echo pulse will not be there. Then output will be 0. So if output is echo pulse output is 5 volts, which means that there is an object, there is an obstacles. If echo pulse output is 0 volts, which means that there is the absence of obstacle. There is no object in front of sensor. Clear? I hope you understand. Other parameters of this device, this sensor is, especially this session is for practical. You can develop your own project. At least those who do not know about ultrasonic sensor may come to know and what voltage it will work, how does it works, right? The working voltage of this ultrasonic sensor is 5 volts. The working current is only 15 milliampere. I told now frequency response. Its frequency response is 40 hertz. It radiates ultrasound signal at 40 hertz. The maximum range of this device is 4 meters. The minimum range is 2 centimeters, 4 meters or 400 centimeters. Minimum range is 2 centimeters. You can detect any object within 2 centimeters. I'll tell you one beautiful example for this ultrasonic sensor, which is rarely used. The car reverse sensor. If you put reverse gear, one yellow color line will come and a red color line will come. Within 100 meters, so within a 1 meter, red color line will come, 2 meters, yellow color line will come. So this sensor is being used for car, used as a car reverse sensor. Yes, even you can fix in your car this sensor. It will detect and give you the better result. Even you can fix it in your bike. Front of bike, you can fix this sensor. Within a 400 meters, any obstacle is there, it will give alarm. Like that, you can prepare. Trigger input signal pulse duration is 10 microseconds. Dimension is very small. Echo output signal also TTL as equivalent to a trigger signal. Right? Let me move to ultrasonic sensor. Visually, ultrasonic sensor will be like this only. How many of you have seen this ultrasonic sensor? Anybody have seen this ultrasonic sensor before? Or used it? See, this is how ultrasonic sensor looks. Yeah, let's see. There are two cylinders. One cylinder to radiate ultrasound signal, another cylinder to detect echo signal. As I told you earlier, this ultrasonic sensor consisting of 4 terminals. One is VCC, ground, trigger input, echo output. See? Consisting of two cylinders. Consisting of two cylinders. One cylinder to radiate ultrasound signal, another cylinder to receive echo signal. Yes. Come on, trainees. I hope you understand on ultrasonic sensor and PIR sensors and their uses, how to use them, what is its technical specifications. It's quite general. Every sensor requires only 5 volts. Only 5 volts. Within a 5 volts, you can operate. You can automate your own house. In tomorrow's class, with the Arduino programming, I am going to explain how to develop a program for Arduino, how to integrate these sensors with Arduino board. With this, you can develop your own project in your home. And still I have many sensors. Still I have many sensors. For explanation. Good. And in the next forthcoming classes, I am going to explain many sensors with the Arduino board, how to interact with the Arduino board. This particular session, the today's class happened only to understand what is sensors and its applications. In the future classes, so we are going to see how to interface these sensors with the Arduino board and or other control systems. I'm happy to see my own students, Gokulnath, Jayendran, and others, Akshay Yadav, the good. Yeah, sure. I will share all these documents with your WhatsApp number. I'll give my WhatsApp number now. My WhatsApp number is 9677600368. Right? Just text me. I will share these documents immediately to you. Any questions? Any questions? Yes. Even you can WhatsApp me if you have any doubt, any questions. You can WhatsApp me through my WhatsApp number. I'm ready to answer at any time. Even